Who is Adam Smith? Born June 5, 1723. Died July 17, 1790. He was a Scottish philosopher and economist. He was the son by second marriage of Adam Smith, controller of customs at Kirkcaldy, a small, population 1,500, but thriving fishing village near Edinburgh, and Margaret Douglas, daughter of a substantial landowner. 2 months before Smith was born, his father died, leaving his mother a widow. The date of Smith's baptism into the Church of Scotland at Kirkcaldy was the 5th of June 1723. At 14, he entered the University of Glasgow and studied moral philosophy. He developed his passion for the philosophical concepts of reason, civilian liberties and free speech. In 1740, he pursued his postgraduate studies at Balliol College, Oxford. Compared with the stimulating atmosphere of Glasgow, Oxford was an educational desert. His years there were spent largely in self-education, from which Smith fully grasped classical and contemporary philosophy. In 1748, Smith began delivering public lectures at the University of Edinburgh, sponsored by the Philosophical Society of Edinburgh under the patronage of Lord Keynes. The success of his lecture series helped him earn a professorship at Glasgow University in 1751. He eventually made the position of Chair of Moral Philosophy. He worked as an academician for the next 13 years, which he characterized as by far the most useful and, therefore, by far the happiest and most honorable period of his life. Smith published The Theory of Moral Sentiments in 1759, embodying some of his Glasgow lectures. This work was concerned with how human morality depends on sympathy between agent and spectator, or the individual and other members of society. Smith defined mutual sympathy as the basis of moral sentiments. Collectively called An Inquiry into the Nature and Causes of the Wealth of Nations. Written in 1776, the collection is commonly called The Wealth of Nations. Two major ideas in The Wealth of Nations. 1. Free market is an economic system that supports the free flow of capital and exchange of goods between individuals and nations without governments intervening to control that flow. In a free market, people in the market will price goods and services more effectively than a government. 2. An invisible hand is a market force that helps the demand and supply of goods in a market to reach equilibrium automatically. An economy will reasonably function well if the government will let the people buy and sell freely among themselves. When there are no restrictions imposed by the government, charges and prices would be less, attracting more customers and generating more sales. Therefore, competitors would lower their prices or something better. When sufficient people demand something, it will be supplied by the market. The seller ends up gaining the price and the buyer will secure goods at the desired price. If all people are after their own self-interest, everyone would work harder, persevere more, operate more, and everybody would gain from it. The wealth of nations is known today as the foundation of capitalism. Popularizing laissez-faire and the invisible hand, Adam Smith argues for an economic system with little unnecessary government interference that allows people to serve their self-interests. With his great contribution to the economy, he was called Father of Economics.